Is it Oatly? I don't even know because they all have the same branding. I think it might be called Nature's Harvest. Like every single oat milk carton looks like an Eastern European pastry that you would make for a wedding. Like they all have embroidered leaves and like vines and shit on the carton, and I'm just like, I don't even know like what I'm looking at here. Is it Nature's Harvest, the Sun Chip brand? Nature's Harvest. I'm gonna hit you. I don't know if you were joking or asking a genuine question. I'm gonna hit you with a -2 preemptively. Toxic, toxic. Then I check your chat history. -2, -2, -2, -2. If you had to choose Costco or Peloton, what would you choose? Right now, I would choose Costco because today's my 90-minute Marty. I only got to do 80 minutes because for my first two rides, shit kept having like 5 seconds of buffering every 10 seconds. So I had to like hard cycle the power on the bike. For 60 minutes, I was composing a tweet in Peloton to Peloton in my head. Hey, kind of crazy. Maybe you could explain to me why your service is such shit lately? Pretty crazy that it's 2023 and you can't manage to stream 480p video wirelessly without buffering. Meanwhile, like every 18-year-old kid in Estonia is building like their own streaming app to. Anyway, long story short. After I hard cycled the power, it worked beautifully. So I said, okay, fine. I guess I'll just hard cycle the power before every single ride. It is another, much like DoorDash, Peloton is a company. I love the service. The company is crazy to me. I don't understand how they could be losing so much money. I guess the answer is just that they hired way too many people. But like, much like DoorDash, you're like, I paid like $2 grand for the bike and then $60 a month for the service. And all you do is stream video to me and pay like 20 instructors. Like what am I missing here? It's true. Maybe they opened the donut shop. The CEO drinks water with his bare hands. This is what bothers me. There's plenty of things you can hate about Peloton. John Foley is not the CEO anymore. He got pushed out by what's the word I'm looking for? Activist investors. He got pushed out by activist investors last year. Now they have some CEO that probably has like a bunch of history coming into companies that are like near filing liquidation for Chapter 11 bankruptcy or something like that, and is just like, cutting costs nonstop. Yeah, probably uses a damn cup for his water. I'm a Peloton defender and a hater for sure. The defender is it's too expensive, but it's still I'm getting way more out of it than I'm paying for. Feel great, much better shape, lost a lot of weight, better mental health. It's a healthy hobby, etc., etc. Could you do it cheaper? Absolutely. But I'm like, it's almost like one of those things where you're like, if I'm paying this much, how can you have the audacity to not be making money hand over fist? And I guess part of the answer is that like a lot of the people involved did make money hand over fist, but the company itself is not doing well. That's how I feel about my $50 a month gym membership. I mean, I hear you. It's like, and I'm not saying you people are hypocritical. I'm saying people in general are hypocritical. Like they'll literally, like I'll drink 2 cans of sparkling water on stream. People will be like, isn't that a little much? Like, are you supposed to be drinking 2 cans of sparkling water a day? Meanwhile, like while watching the stream, their ass drank like 6 IPAs while watching the stream. Like, why don't you Google like how many IPAs a day is okay to drink? Like it's there's got to be like a term for this that I'm inelegantly dancing around. If something purports to be good for you it then has a much, much, much higher level of criticism and scrutiny than if you know something's bad for you. Like if you took 2 multivitamins a day, people who drink 12 cans of Mountain Dew a day would be like, 2 multivitamins? Aren't you worried about your kidneys? I'm uncomfortable with the amount of +2s I'm getting. You know, the Peloton at the end of the day is simply a tool. You know, it doesn't revolutionize bike riding. The real advantages of the Peloton are not like, whoa, the $2,000 bike is like, you know, it's completely changed the way that I cycle. The main revolution is that like the classes are good, plus it's in my room. So like every day I don't have an excuse to not get on it, which made it insanely easy to fall into the habit of it. You know, you never have a day where you wake up like 10 minutes late and you're like, oh, now traffic's going to be bad on the way to the gym. I'm going to have to park further away. The machines that I use are going to be like occupied now. Like maybe I'll just skip today. You're like, oh, I woke up 10 minutes late. I guess I'll just cut 10 minutes off of my, you know, bowel movement and then, you know, hop on the damn saddle. Plus, there's a real thrill to passing people nonstop when they have the thin blue line avatar with the Punisher face. It really makes me feel good about myself, and that's probably like an indictment of my own moral character, but it feels like you're winning. When you're like, I'm faster than you, and we wouldn't get along in real life, I just won twice. Hey, an anonymous gifter. Thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Wahoo! Oh, okay, that's gonna explode. What do you mean Chae Young would love the thin blue line? You don't know that. It wasn't Chae Young, okay? It was her stylist. She's taking a lot of heat right now. Why is it that her stylist is not taking any heat? I need to get Kate in here to give me the straight dope about the Twice drama. Chae Young from Twice wore a QAnon t-shirt during one performance, and then like couple of days later, wore a shirt outside that had a swastika on it, which is not good. I don't think I need to tell you that that's not good. I don't know. Like, I was gonna say I don't care. That's not really apt. I guess I do sort of care, but like I don't know if she dresses herself or if everything is micromanaged for these bands. Like I have no, it could just be one renegade stylist for all I know. Oh, thank you, Apollo. Thank you. You do see like that symbol in Korea as like because it's from like, you know, Buddhism originally. So if you go to Korea or you live in Korea, you'll like see it on you know, some temples or some churches and stuff like that. I didn't go to Korean school. I merely taught in one. I feel like it doesn't pass the smell test for me that like an adult wouldn't be aware of the I don't know, the legacy of the symbol. If you're like 14, maybe, like I could see it, but again, why am I even waiting in here? I don't even, who cares? Well, I mean, not like that, but I'm just, I'm just, because I saw some people there like, well, in Korea, they don't really learn about the Second World War. And I'm like, well, someone should have told my students that when I had a one-on-one lesson with a kid, and I was like, this kid's really advanced, so I'm going to blow his mind. I'm going to teach him a lesson about the North African campaign about the Second World War, and this fucking 15-year-old kid is like correcting me. Someone should have told him, hey, I thought you guys didn't learn about World War II here. They learn about everything, man. Haven't you seen Sky Castle? Yeah, it's kids in America who don't learn about the Second World War. Sorry. I definitely don't think that's true. But I saw it in chat and I couldn't miss the opportunity to... I'm sorry. It's just funny. If anything, if you're American, you should be proud that I make fun of your country because that means your country is in a position of strength. Because comedy is about punching up, okay? If you're from a country that literally I've never made fun of on the stream, you should know that that's probably because it would be considered insensitive to insult your country because you're probably going through like some real shit right now. So, like, if anything, if you're American, you should probably be flattered that I use America and Canada, to be fair, and England and also like Sweden as the the main punchlines for jokes, okay? And Bellingham, pump the brakes. Whoa. Which countries were not involved in World War II at all? I guess it depends what you mean by involved. Because, yeah, people are like, Switzerland? Well, I would say they were involved. In the words of the inimitable Geddy Lee, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. Yeah, I don't know about Vanuatu or you know, the Solomon Islands, but I also don't know that much about like the Pacific campaign of the Second World War. I feel like there were like 2 years where like every single island down there was like a battleground. What about Burundi? I'll be honest, I'm just ignorant to like Africa's involvement in the Second World War. Oh, that hurt. Except for, you know, North Africa and like Italy and Ethiopia. I know Italy's not in Africa, but like the Italian campaign in Ethiopia. I don't know what happened like south of the Sahara. I didn't say that they were just chilling, okay? I am capable of getting myself in trouble with my words. I don't need you to put words in my mouth. I did not, in no way did I say that they were just chilling. You know, this is not World War II, and again, this is Dan Carlin pilled. There's some like anecdotes from World War I that really make the war like it obviously I didn't live through World War I. I was born in 1919. But like when Shackleton went to the damn South Pole and then the expedition failed and his ass was like adrift in the Southern Ocean for 11 months or something like that, eating flies and like hunting narwhals to survive, like eating his crewmen and like all their horses and dogs and shit. He eventually got rescued. First question he asked, who won the World War? Who won the Great War? That shit was still going on. Can you imagine? Shit would be demoralizing. No one on the crew died. Okay, whatever. After I watched the... Listen, I didn't live through that either. For a brief period, I got interested in Arctic exploration. Well, like the history of it. After I watched The Terror on FX. I was like, whoa, did that shit really happen? Was there really like a zombie polar bear going around like biting people and shit? Anyway, then I listened to audiobooks while I fall asleep. I downloaded an audiobook that was like about a doomed expedition to the North Pole. I do not recommend listening to that shit as you fall asleep. Chapter 1 is like people's families begging them not to go. Chapter 2 is like everybody's having fun and getting wasted like the first 2 days on the voyage. Chapters 3 through 100 are like people's limbs falling off due to frostbite, discovering frozen corpses in the wilderness, like having to eat your pack animals just to live, but then being like, but I gotta ride that fucker back to the boat, so like, what am I gonna do? Like, there's not great bedtime material. Hang on, I'm gonna focus for a second. Apollo, what were you thinking with this jump, man? What were you thinking with this? Well, what is it? It's almost 10 damn 30. It's been an hour. World's most timely chatter. Least obvious Twitch chatter. There we go. Something like that. You know what would be a funny bit? What if you went back and rebuilt all of Apollo's levels, but just made the jumps like 25% easier? Like can you just copy the section, paste it into your level, and then like move the platforms a little closer together? But they're so fine-tuned. By the way, NL, you got the wrong thumbnail on today's Sporkle video. Is it wrong thumbnail by like, it's a duplicate thumbnail from recent, or do I have like, do I have sunchip face? You're wearing your QAnon shirt? Oh no! That was meant for YG Entertainment at contact at ygentertainment.co.kr. I was It's a joke! I'm joking! It shows a game. It doesn't show Sporkle. Oh, okay, let's go. Let me just go check this out. Hang on. Check out this week's savings at Costco.ca. No, it shows guess the game instead. Oh, then the thumbnail is not wrong. No disrespect. I'm not mad at you, but the thumbnail's not wrong. That's from Guess the Game, which was also in that bit. Sorry, I'm dumb? Not dumb. It's not the word I would use. Trying to be helpful. I did see that. No, stupid was not. Stop putting words in my mouth, okay? NL, you look to the left in every single thumbnail. World's sanest content enjoyer. Yes, yeah. Lion soy. Actually, where's the one where I did lion soy pointing right? Has that one gone up yet? It was a Big Ambitions thumbnail. It did. It was good. I knew what I was doing with that one. I mean, honestly, I think we'll play this for like another... I'd like to at least get to the checkpoint. This was not to like get good at Mario. This was to warm up my hands and my brain, to put me in a Mario mindset for like 90 minutes from now when the checkpoint league starts. Again, it's the same thing. Like you can't... if you don't know the material that's going to be on the exam, you're not going to cram in 3 hours and get an A. You know, what you could do is warm up your brain a little bit and then eat something with a lot of sugar in it to keep you to get your mood up and keep you as happy as possible, and go into it with a good attitude, and whatever happens happens. That's what this is. This is about staying limber more than anything else. Your inputs on the treadmill are driving me insane. The hell is an input, man? Input? I'm Luigi. It's an input. I can't look for a second. I've got my FAR exam tomorrow. Is this where I ask what's FAR and you say, you know, farting on your dick and balls or something? Oh, it's part of being a chartered accountant. It's an honest question, okay? And I can't watch the bomb explode. Oh, okay. It's not going to respawn anyway. I feel like... I know that there's accountants who do things that are not just taxes. You got to be well accredited to be an accountant. But it seems also to be like one of those jobs where your peak skill as an accountant is like right before you take the exam. And then after that, like every year, aren't you just like sending people emails that are like, what percentage of your home do you use as a home office? And then like inputting numbers into a form. I'm not insulting the job at all. I'm just saying it seems like, or maybe it's like being a doctor, you know, where like, to pass the MCATs, you got to be like, and then coenzyme Q is used as a catalyst in order to, and then when you're actually a GP, every single meeting is like, you should lose 20 pounds. I'll see you in 2 years, right? It's like the same. I don't know if being a lawyer is like that. And again, I'm not elevating one profession above another. But I feel like as a lawyer, there's a lot of like, oh, well, there was one case in like 1975 where we established a precedent that's actually like it could be relevant in this. Like it seems like a lot of digging into course law and stuff like that. Or what's the word I'm looking for? The legal record. And I'm sure there's like accountants that do that. Like if the IRS sues you and you've got to be like, actually, I talk about working out on my stream. So my home gym is a home office. And also, sure, by area, my home gym is, oh, we responded. By area, my home gym is only 10% of my house. But by mass, my home gym is 25% of my house, because look at all these heavy plates. I thought you meant by mass. My mom's an accountant that works for the IRS. Oh! So she's like the Benedict Arnold of accountants? I'm joking. I don't know. I guess you would need some accountants to catch some accountants. That makes sense. Again, I'm not knocking accountants, but it's the same thing. Like I think about it when my accountants do my taxes, because like they're all like, you know, they have their CPA, they have their CFA, and then like 90% of their communication for me is like, hey, just another reminder. If you could send over that receipt for the digital camera that you bought in February of last year, we could knock this out today. I'm like, they shouldn't have you. There should be someone else sending those emails, man. Like it should. You didn't go to school for 12 years to be like a babysitter. I'm pretty ignorant of what like accountants do, unless they do taxes, though. Like I don't understand. Like what if you're like a business with 10 employees? What do you do as the accountant? Like, don't you just make sure that your company makes payroll every month and then like hit a button that sends out the money? Like in my head, I know this can't be true, okay? But in my head, that's like a 5 hours a month job. There has to be more, but like, don't they make sure they're not breaking any laws? I don't know. This is why I asked. Paying invoices and invoicing people? I got another issue, okay? And again, I don't really know how real business works. This is this will be a least entitled streamer bit, which, as you know, means that it's very entitled. What is all this invoicing stuff? Why are we bringing, I forget which stand-up comedian said it. Maybe it was Mitch Hedberg. Why are we bringing ink and paper into this? If you say you're going to pay me like X dollars when I do X service, after I do X service, why do I have to send you a piece of paper that is like, you owe me X dollars? And then they're like, oh, like according to the agreement we signed, we have like net 60. Like we don't have to actually pay you for 2 months after the services are rendered. And I'm like, listen, it doesn't put me out, but at the same time, I'm like, my ass did the service. Maybe I should have waited 2 months to do the damn service. Maybe you should pay me and then I'll do the service in 60 days. I'm not even going to respond to this. Are you married to an invoice? Like, I don't understand. Malf was complaining about this. Everybody complains. I mean, like, listen. It's the same thing like when you get paid. I mean, it's the same thing almost when you get paid by anybody, but like, or like any company. But it is annoying when you like do a service in January and then you get paid in like April. I can see getting paid like 2 weeks later, but getting paid 3 months later is like, what am I, chopped liver? I mean, I'll take it, don't get me wrong. It helps with cash flow. Oh, you mean companies aren't just sitting there with like all of their money shoved into like a corporate checking account? Are you telling me it's more complicated than my limited view of the world would have me believe? Are you... You can charge him interest past the 60th day? My ass doesn't want to do that, though. Also, what do I care about? I don't want to charge him, 7% interest annualized. They're late for 2 weeks. They're going to be like, okay, here's your extra $4. Just hook me up, man. I thought we were bros. I thought they were good for it. Well, that was not smart. I just want to make the jump one time, man. They teach to delay this thing in tech school. I'm just, honestly, I feel bad because from now on, well, now I was going to say I'm going to start paying my like electric bill on net 60, but I think my ass already does pay my electric bill on net 60, now that I think about it. Shout out to BC Hydro. It might have respawned. It might have respawned. Ooh. You gotta slow down there? That doesn't sound like Apollo. Apollo doesn't sound like the kind of guy who would be like, here you have to slow down. He likes the whole thing to be done in one fell swoop. That's just, if I know anything about him, that's what I know. You keep overtaking the bomb, though? Yeah, I know. That's why that guy's not doing his job. I'm doing my job, and then the bomb's on net 45, man. You have to adjust your speed. Okay, let's try. Let's try. Okay, that was, you know, that's non-destructive. Well, some bills are 60 days. I only get billed by our electric company and our water company 6 times a year. Some bills are every 30 days. And then some bills is like, you know, every day. Like if you go to Starbucks, I guess. Hey, yo, Aaron, thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Canada's wild. It's not that wild. It's pretty much the same. Also, I understand the time value of money, okay? I mean, I understand the principle. I wouldn't say, like, I could put it into practice. Okay, my screen glitched there for a second. But, like, what's the difference between paying me right now and paying me in 45 days? Are you really going to take, like, what the invoiceable amount and invest it in, like, a 30-day T-bill to earn 4.5%? But it's not even 4.5%. It's like 1/12 of 4.5%. Because it's a monthly, it's the interest rate is annual and you're only getting a month of it. Like that just, look, some companies, sure. But some of the companies that I work with, I'm like, you're not doing that shit. No offense. Some companies I see it, but so like Activision Blizzard, I'm like, I bet you got like a whole team there. But some of the companies I do sponsorships with, I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think you're like, okay, we have, this is the money coming out of the account in April. Take the cash in our checking account and then pop it into a 30-day T-bill. All I'm going to say is that if my ass pays you, get ready, because I'm going to become insufferable about it. No, because the thing is, as a one-man operation, when I receive a bill, I like to pay it right away. It pays for itself in the mental overhead. Like if I get a hydro bill and it's $200, my ass is not going to take $200 and throw it in a 1-month GIC and then pull it out and be like, joke's on you, motherfucker. Now I got like, you know, I got $200.82 and then I got to pay cap gains on the 82 cents. I got to send my accountant like an itemized ledger that says, here's the 1-month T-bill I used. He's going to charge me $100 just to open the PDF. Ah, man, it's not worth it. I guess that's true. Like if I died in 30 days or something like that, I guess they don't have to pay. Why do you have a mortgage then? So I didn't have the cash on hand to buy right away. Also, the expected return, you know, of the S&P 500 averages out to about 7% annually. And, you know, when mortgage rates were like 2.5%, you're like, I'd be leaving money on the table not to have my mortgage in the S&P 500, you know, generating the 5.5% delta while I wait. But, you know, we don't need to get into that. Also, yes, every time I die, I keep picking up my empty can of sparkling water and seeing if there's water in it, and then there's no water in it. That's my Teddy KGB Oreo tell for me not being good. Okay. It died, right? Making a Mario. Okay, I adjusted my speed a little bit there. Wahoo. He's losing it. Can we bring back the dying John Madden bit? Is that
Hello, my name is John Madden. Welcome to Monday Night Football.
something like that?
Help me, I am trapped in computer. How do I get out of computer? Guys, I'm stuck in the computer.
Guys is a gendered term. We would recommend using something like y'all.
Y'all, I'm stuck in the computer. Folks, I'm stuck in the computer.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else. I didn't get up to too much last night. I don't think my ass didn't get up to anything, I think. I think it should be, controversial take, I think it should be like illegal to rain. Because it was Tuesday, I picked up my daughter from daycare. Thanks to daylight savings, it stays bright outside. I mean, daylight savings and the rotation or the orbit of the Earth around the sun stays bright later. So I took her to the park. 80 minutes, 90 minutes. Came back, ate dinner. It's basically her bedtime. The night flew by. We made happy memories. Yesterday, raining. Came home. You're like, man, I don't know. We played in the house for like 2 hours, but like, I think any parent will tell you, the play in the house is not as rewarding as play outside. Because, if you can get your toddler to sit down and be like, I'm going to color something, and you color with them, you're like, that's great. But a lot of the time, it's just a 2-hour-long improv bit where, like, you're sitting down and they go out of the room, close the door, and knock, and you go, who is it? And then they go, it's me. And you go, come in. And then they come in, and then they're like, can I have a drink of water? And anyway, you get the idea. So it's like 2 hours of that. And then basically just went to bed. Oh. I mean, you can play in the rain, but it's like, it's not as nice as playing in the sun. It's worth a shot. -2? You're just wrong. Like, people are like, oh, the weather's so bad today. Let's go to the beach. Anyway, it's better in the sun, because also, I mean, again, I know that, like, you don't have a kid, and that's why your opinion differs from mine and is wrong. But it's also annoying to play in the rain when you got a kid, because you got to put, like, 17 different items of clothing on them. Whereas when it's sunny outside, you just put their shoes on, and you're like, let's go. You got to go raincoat, rain hat, rain pants, because they're going to be jumping in puddles, rain boots. I know that only sounds like 4 things. When you're putting 4 things on yourself, it takes 4 seconds. When you're putting 4 things on a toddler, it takes a little longer. Sunscreen, sure. But sunscreen only takes like Takes like an eighth of a second. Thoughts on Kate believing she has some prophetic powers? She's made some good decisions in her life. I feel like lots of people, if you put them onto like a polygraph test, if you put them on a lie detector, lots of people would think they have above average precognitive abilities. Lots of people have had experiences in their life where like they dreamed about something or someone, and then like the next day there was news about that person. I'm not a hater. People, you know, to some, if you can believe whatever you want, as long as it's not like hurting other people. I don't believe that I have any precognitive ability myself, though. I mean, you have to acknowledge that some people, by the strictest definition of being psychic, are psychic. There's probably like one person out there who like once a month has predicted exactly what will happen daily. The same way there's 3 investors who have consistently beaten the S&P 500 for their entire careers. It's just the law of large numbers. When you got 7 billion people doing it, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, put them into the pachinko machine, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Most people are getting sorted into like statistically not psychic, but then like a couple, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, a couple of people are making it down like 20 years, and then there's 2, then one of them's getting faded, and then like somebody is dying thinking that they're psychic. Okay. 8 billion ain't enough? What are you, psychic? Being psychic isn't, or being, statistics is not being psychic. Excuse me. Everything is statistics. At least that's the lens I interpret my life through. Everything is probability. You might think when I go to McDonald's later today, 100% chance I'm getting chicken McNuggets. Nah, man, I don't know. Probably like 95. But I don't know what kind of person I'm going to be when I go to McDonald's. There's a 5% chance that maybe I see something new on the menu and I'm like, give me the McCrispy or something. It's Lent though? The hell is Lent? Is it 525,600 minutes in snowflakes and dandruff and cups of coffee? That's rent. No, the rent is too damn high. What is Lent when you give things up for 40 days? Or is that like Noah's Ark? Wait, 40 days? Is 40 days? 40 days and 40? They really liked 40 days biblically, huh? Is Lent connected to Noah's Ark? Are we like, thank you, Noah, for building that boat? We're going to go through the same sacrifice as you for 40 days? This isn't a bit. If you've ever seen me do like Bible quizzes on Sporkle, I know nothing about basically any religion at all, except the names of some of the holidays. 40 is just a significant number in the Bible. Okay, it's symbolic of being spiritually testing. Okay, I mean I'd say that's fair. I mean that's why it's called Dry January, you know, not Dry January through February 10th. Lent starts on Ash Wednesday and ends on Easter. Is this all just like a convoluted way to sell calendars? Because aren't those 2 holidays that happen on different days every single year? Listen, this is not Justin not knowing what day Christmas is. That shit is the 25th every single year, okay? Easter is messed up, though. Easter's got to be one of the only holidays that actually, like, I was looking at chat instead of where I should land. Easter's one of the only holidays that drifts months. Like, you cannot say what month is Easter in. I feel like it's usually April, but like a quarter of the time it's in March. There's been March Easters, dude. There's people are like, it's literally never been in March. Go look it up. I'm Googling it as we speak. Hang on, first I got some text messages. Easter can happen, thank you. Easter can happen any day from March 22nd to April 25th. That's crazy, man. How is it calculated? The moon gives a copy of its schedule to the calendar makers, like in the last week of November of a year. And then, like, they look over the schedule together, they make some adjustments. The moon is like, I'm thinking I'll be full earlier in February this year, so we're going to have an early Easter as well. Is that okay with you guys? And then the calendar makers are like, yeah, sure. Last year it was like in mid-April or whatever. It's the first Sunday after the first new moon after the vernal equinox. We gotta change that. Life's too complicated. Right after we finally snuff out daylight savings, Easter is going to be the first Sunday in April from now on. It's just, we gotta simplify this, man. That's not gonna work. All right, I got 10 more minutes, then I'm going to do some web trivia. Not Sporkle necessarily, but web puzzles. Do our Cine2 Nerdles, our Guess the Games, our Movie to Movies, our Rotten Tomatoes, our so ons and so forths, our Chrono photos. Best Easter candy? Easter is not my favorite holiday for candy because I'm not a huge chocolate guy. And I feel like Easter is like very, very predominantly chocolate and Peeps, but I don't see Peeps that much anymore because I feel like maybe they have like a known carcinogen or something in them. I like jelly beans, but jelly beans are not really like a... I don't associate them with Easter, at least. Like the best, and it's not my favorite holiday, as you know. Maybe? But the best holiday for candy is definitely Halloween. Because you don't just get chocolate. You probably get a little bit of chocolate. You get a lot of candy. You get the occasional potato chip bag as well. I'm all about the smattering. By the way, I know I said I'm not into chocolate. After my first 2 rides today, I felt like I was going to bonk. You know, I was going to hit the wall. I was going to run out of energy. Last time, I just powered through and had like a 30-minute ride that was like miserable. Today, I said, let's not let that happen again. I got off the bike. I unclipped, wandered out in the kitchen. I ate a fun-sized Kit Kat, and I had like an amazing final third. Who would have, sanest exerciser, local man finds out that food equals energy. Who would have thought? It was a game changer, man. Well, we tried. How quickly did it metabolize? I don't know. I'm not. You gotta ask my pancreas, man. But I don't think it was just the placebo effect. After like 5 minutes, I was like, I have more stam than I used to, at least briefly. My dad eats maple syrup during marathons. That's crazy though. Like that. Listen, a marathon is like it's a genuine. That's a serious athletic endeavor. That's 26.2 miles of running. I had to feel though that like maple syrup. I mean, he's the one running the marathons, but like that seems very indigestible and like I just feel like it would be hard to consume enough of it to make a huge difference. And also my stomach would cramp up like crazy, I guess. I'd rather just buy one of the gels or something. I think. The gels are just sugar? Yeah, but they're like the consistency is probably like thinner than maple syrup at least. But maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe your dad, I've never run a marathon. Your dad's you use the plural, so I'm assuming he's run more. All I'm saying, people are like mansplaining maple syrup to me. In my second year of university, because my school has like a problematic culture of masculinity and bravado, engineering students try out to be freshman orientation leaders. They're called frosh leaders. Several of my friends tried out to be frosh leaders. What did they do? They chugged a bottle of maple syrup in front of the audition committee. Every single one of them, after they did it, threw up in the bathroom right after they finished. That's why. So me picturing, I mean, admittedly, they didn't run 13 miles before they took the first sip. I'm imagining that it probably hits different. And they're probably, your dad's probably not chugging like a whole bottle. But at the same time, like that's my frame of reference here. No, kid, don't. I don't want to see it explode. No. It's like a tablespoon, probably. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'd rather have the gel, man. Give me the gel. Can't use BioSteel because it's got stevia. It's not metabolized the same way. It does taste nice, though. Oh, new PB. Did they make it after they drank the syrup? It's a sad story. One of them did, one of them didn't. Because there's other parts to the interview process. Like, it's seriously like everybody in engineering wants to be a frosh leader. It's very competitive. It gives you some social capital. It's baked into like the engineering culture at my school cuz it's just below like fraternity culture. Like they're not tying cinder blocks to dudes' dicks and then throwing the cinder block off the edge of a roof, but there's supposed to be enough rope so that the cinder block just hits the ground before it tears their penis off. But then like the cinder block goes through a manhole cover and then you see the guy falling with like really bad CGI and anyway. But yeah, they dye their, you see the freshmen, they all get like a leather jacket and then at the end of orientation, they dye it purple with again a known carcinogenic dye. The first year engineers have to go through a collective trauma / torture called climbing the grease pole. It's a big muddy pit and then a really like, I don't know, like a 30-foot tall pole that's covered in KY jelly and Vaseline, and the engineers all have to work together to figure out how to make a human pyramid to get to the top. And then it's like the idea is that like, you know, they've built some camaraderie as a result of that. They get patches on their jackets that are like, I was at the grease pole, I went to ritual at least 10 times in one school year, I was in J squad, which means I almost flunked out of my freshman year, etc., etc. I did indeed go to Queens. It's sanest Queens student. That's why I say that, like, my school experience, I really feel like it was closer to the 80s, like, Animal House type thing than to the current collegiate experience, which is probably better for everybody. Yes, one year at Queen's Homecoming, they flipped over they didn't, I don't think it was a police car. I think they flipped over a car, and that led to a lot of police presence. But that was the year before I attended the school. That was when I was a high school senior. I was not at that party. Your schooling was closer to the 80s in 1999 than 2023? No, I'm being more brazen. I think my college experience was closer to an 80s college experience in 2006 to 2010 versus what the collegiate experience is like in 2023. I think the culture, it's moved away from that, and it's moved away faster than usual, which is probably a good thing. I went to Queens too. It is funny thinking about, like, I wasn't in engineering school, but there was like a badge that engineers would get on their jacket. It was called like the Triple X badge. I can't remember what the X's were, but definitely like one of them was sleeping with your TA. And I'm like, that probably would not fly in the mod. There's like an actual like obvious power imbalance there. But I definitely knew a girl who had the Triple X badge, and everybody was like, she's so cool. Sleeping inside of a campus building, and I forget the last one. Sleeping inside of a campus building. I bet I can Google it. What have I done here? Get me out of there. Triple X badge, Queens Engineering. Oh my God, there's a fandom wiki for it. Oh, have sex while wearing your engineering jacket. Have sex while being purpled, which was when your whole body is dyed purple, which is an engineering thing, and having sex in an engineering building. 8 comments. Do both people need to be purple? Next comment. So would someone who's not in engineering be able to earn the traditional triple X by fucking someone wearing a GPA, fucking someone purple, then fucking someone in an engineering building? Reply, yes. Does having sex include finishing or just penetration? Bro, world's least pedantic engineers? Nah, I think it's okay if you don't finish, especially if you're a girl. It might be hard to get that done under the circumstances. So is it the same bar for art science if we have sex in 3 buildings? A fandom user replied, no, that is called the art side triple X. Any advice on buildings for art side triple X? This is crazy. Who's writing comments on this? It's game FAQs for sex. That's the school I went to, man. It used to be renowned as like a pretty good academic institution. Now it's just for like kids from Toronto to go and behave badly 3 hours away from their parents so they can still go home for reading week. How recent are those posts? They're from 2015 and 2018, man. It's madness. Isn't that what you did? No, it was for me to behave badly 40 minutes away from where my parents lived so that I could still meet them for dinner on Friday nights and get taken out to like Phnom Penh, which was a dope-ass Thai restaurant. But I wasn't sniffing at even like a triple X badge with an asterisk. I'll tell you that much. Now, did I do the Century Club occasionally? Did I take 100 shots of beer in 100 minutes? Yeah. But I definitely never covered myself in Genshin Violet. What do we do here again? Okay, you know what? Like, it's 11:04. We got ourselves reasonably